We're outside, it looks so beautiful out here, and I'm here to help you quit smoking. So if you want to quit smoking, this is the right video, and I know 110% you're ready to quit. So if you're looking for information or how to do anything, I'm going to guide you through the best of my ability. Before I get into anything, I'll give you my story on how I quit and then the tips I used. So if you like this video or you want other videos, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell, and you'll get notified every time I make a video to help you guys. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is my story. I started smoking when I was 13 and I quit at 29. I'm 30 now and I've quit for 1 year. So the fact is, at 13, I smoked because it was a social thing to do. We all have those friends and family or someone that was smoking around us that got us into it. And you know, we started smoking at a party, maybe some friends' houses, stuff like that, and we continued to keep that smoking habit for a while, socially, keep doing it. And at about 15, 16, I started to smoke way more after school, before school. Then I started to smoke even more at morning, afternoon, after lunch, after dinner, after any stressful event, during classes even. And it got to the point I was just needing a cigarette all the time, and I would even chain smoke. It got really bad. So I couldn't stop, and I tried everything. I tried everything and anything to get me to stop, and I couldn't stop. There was nothing that anyone could do to get me to stop, and I tried everything I could to possibly stop, and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't figure out how to do it. And I finally came up with the formula on how to do it, and here I am about to give you the formula. So I quit cold turkey. That's the way I quit. I said one day I'm not gonna have a cigarette. I had the occasional cigarette once or twice, I won't lie, but I quit mostly cold turkey. I didn't use vape, I didn't use patch, I didn't use anything. I just quit absolutely because I wanted to. Now, the reason why I wanted to quit was my lungs were hurting. My chest was hurting. My throat was killing. I was feeling sick. I was feeling nauseous. All these things led up, and it gave me this mindset that I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. I was so sick of the feeling. And so this is tip number one, and this is the one thing you got to remember. If you're going to take away anything, you're going to have to want it. You're going to have to feel sick if you do it. So if you want a strategy on how to feel sick, buy a whole pack of smokes, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 4, and light them all up and keep smoking until you get that feeling that you can't have another cigarette. Smoke them all right, until you feel so sick that you can't have another one. And I say that because you need to know that feeling, that if you have another one, it's going to make you that sick. And that feeling is the feeling and the mindset that you need to go in this with. If you have another cigarette, you're going to feel sick. It's going to disgust you. So that's tip number one, and that's step number one. If you can't do step number one, you might as well not do any step, because your mindset is the most important step of all steps. Okay, step number 2 is what doesn't work for you when you first quit, or how many other times you quit. Don't do that. Do other things that will help you quit. Okay, so don't go, oh, I tried the patch and I want to try the patch again. It didn't work for you the first time. So don't go back to things that didn't work for you. Go to things that will work for you. And if you tried everything, then now you have a different mindset, then try everything again. Okay, to help you quit. So don't try what doesn't work. Try what does, or new things that might help you work. Okay, step number 3. Replace a bad habit with a good habit. Okay, so now that we got step 1 and step 2, now we got to replace the habit. What are we going to replace the habit with? So down below in the comments, write a habit that you're going to replace to give other people an idea of what they might need to quit. I use video games. And that might be like the worst habit to pick, but I chose that one. And I played the shit out of World of Warcraft. I will not lie to you guys. There's videos of me playing World of Warcraft for hours and hours because I did not want to quit smoking. And yes, it's an addictive game, but it's better than smoking. So the next one is, so every time, oh, I forgot to say, every time you do this habit, reward yourself. Maybe whatever you can. For not having the cigarette, you need to please your mind. Say, oh, you know what? I played the video game. Okay, time for a reward. It might be a meal, might be whatever. Your hunger is gonna come back, so sweets, anything that rewards yourself. Go see a movie, whatever it may be. Okay, so the fourth one is don't be too hard on yourself. And what do I mean by don't be too hard on yourself? Well, if you have a cigarette and you break the habit, it's okay. My heart's here for you. I'm here for you. Don't worry about it. You know why? Because you're going to quit the next day. You know, it's just one cigarette. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end all be all. But just need to remind yourself that, you know, one cigarette that's all it is. Don't buy a pack. No, absolutely do not buy a pack. That's no reason to buy a pack. If you buy a pack, then you haven't quit. All right, just have one cigarette. That's okay. Go to somebody and buy it. You know, don't be hard on yourself, but do not buy a pack. All right. Step 5. Are we on step 5? Yes. Step 5 is don't be around others, or don't be around reminders. Not don't be around others. Don't be around reminders. So a reminder could be anything. A reminder could be something that, you know, if you're at a drink, or if you're at a party, or if you're at work, or if you do other things, don't be around those things that are going to help you quit. Be around things that will help you quit. All right? So if there's something that will try to trigger you to smoke, don't be around that. A friend, family. I had to neglect friends for a little while that smoked. I couldn't be around that. And so just try your best to not be around those influences for the time being, because you're trying really, really hard not to smoke. And those are just people that are going to remind you, or things that are going to remind you to want to smoke. So try not to be around them the best you can. If you can take a weekend off, then try that. Maybe go on vacation. Who knows? You know, there's all kinds of reasons to help you quit. All right, what's the next one here? Step 6, remind yourself of the positives. All right, this is an easy one. Step number 6 has got to be super duper easy. Remind yourself of the positives. Your lungs, your throat, your exercise, your mindset. If you can quit smoking, you can quit anything. Think about that. Think about your willpower. You know, all the things that you're going to gain when you quit the cigarettes. Your stamina is going to go up. Your drive is going to go up. A lot of things are going to go up when you quit smoking. You're going to be able to exercise a lot more. I've been exercising a lot. It's been a month and a half since I've been exercising. So a lot of this stuff is going to help you quit. All right, so step number 7. I know step number 7 is a pretty easy one too. So once you have quit, I want you, or decided, and after you watch this video, I want you to decide to get a chart, or there's ones online that says, okay, when you quit at this hour, you know how many hours, and then the effect that happens when you quit, right? So for example, your blood pressure will go down, your lungs will not have as much mucus in them, and after a few days, and it'll just tell you all the things that will happen when you're quitting. And it helped me, because I started to look at all the effects of what was coming back. So I looked at 1 year, what happens after 1 year, and I reduced cancer by like 20% in my body. Think about that. So, or even having a stroke. So that's a really good side effect to have, and it's good to tell you know, it's good to be like, oh my God, it's been a year, you know, and like, can I go longer? How longer can I go? And just keep with that mindset, that you want to keep pushing yourself to see how long you can quit, and it just eventually you won't even want one. Like, I'm around people that smoke and I don't even want one now. So eventually I tried having one cigarette just to see what it would feel like, and I got sick. I got absolutely sick. So hopefully that helps you guys out. Now here's some friendly reminders to help you quit, things that you do not do or do. So the first thing is, do not buy a vape with nicotine. Do not buy a vape with nicotine. All right, it is not quitting. I don't care what you say. I don't care what anybody says. Do not buy a vape with nicotine, because nicotine is the addiction. We want to quit. All right, and people say, oh, well, smoking reduces stress. That is incorrect. All right, study has shown that if you smoke, that your stress levels will actually go up when you don't have nicotine. It won't reduce it. So it actually will do the opposite. And you could do the research for yourself to see if I'm right. And second one is stay away from substances that will help you smoke. So alcohol, drugs, coffee, certain other things that, you know, when you do have them, you want a cigarette. So just remind yourself that if you do have these substances, that you don't want to be like, you don't want them. So alcohol, coffee, stuff like that, that will remind you to have a cigarette. Coffee was a hard one, trust me. And the third one is positive influences. This is, I think, very important to have positive people. And everyone has those friends. It's like they kind of remind you, oh, yeah, right, you're going to quit? No, I don't see you going to quit. You're never going to quit. You've been smoking too long to quit. Don't have those people around you. Push them off to the side. Don't have them near you. That's important. That's going to help you quit. Well, that's it for the video. And if you need any more tips or any questions, put comments down below. Let me know how you're doing. Feel free to subscribe to the channel, and I'll be making a ton more how-to videos and mentoring and showing you guys anything that I've been doing in my life to stay positive. So if you haven't followed, I have Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Feel free, I put those links down below, and feel free to subscribe. And I hope you guys are doing well with quitting smoking, and I hope this video helped you.